Can everybody hear me? Yeah? Okay, great. We're going to call the order at 6:42, okay? So, first thing on the agenda, we're going to call attendance. Sorry, guys. Okay. Ali? Alan? What? Okay. Apaya? Here. Burr? Carr? Here. Caruso? Castellano? Here. Chacron? Here. Curtis? Here. DeReer? Here. Gibbs?
Here.
Goebel? Me. Just kidding. Jane? Karras? Kakunda?
Here.
Sorry if I butchered your name. Kowalski? Here. Kundu?
Here.
Laporte?
Yeah.
Langer?
Here.
Lanza?
Here.
Okay, we're not going to bother with this. I have a loud voice, so. Lavoy?
Here.
Michael?
Here.
Murray?
Here.
Norris? Olson?
Here.
OJ? Here. Surowitz?
Here.
Villar? Here. Wang? Bird?
Here.
Valverde? Here. Johnny? Here. Dinkaloo? Here. Aleshikot? Let's go Paul. Hinton? Here. Johnson? Conrad? Crooks? Mirza? Sadani? Stern?
Here.
Gotham? Here. Did I do okay?
No, this is fine.
Okay. Pat? Hernandez Jimenez? Browski? Alrighty. Great. Let's get started. So. Alright, Kundu.
Should I go up there or?
What? Oh, sorry.
So you guys
sorry.
gonna?
Okay, we're gonna approve the minutes. This is my bad. Sorry. Okay, now just to be clear, if you're new, you can't vote on this because you weren't at this meeting. Or if you weren't at this meeting, you can't vote on this, okay? Great. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve these minutes? Gibbs. Seconded by Langer. All right. We're going to move into discussion. Are there any questions? Is there any debate? No? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes from session 4, Wednesday, September 14th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, the ayes have it and the motion carries. abstentions, I'm sorry. Anybody? Abstentions, come on. This is where all of you who weren't here, anybody who wasn't here? Not new people. Anybody who wasn't here who was a senator before at this time. Okay, I guess everybody was there. Great, good. Okay. So the ayes have it and the motion carries. All right, sorry. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna approve the minutes from session 5. All right, so do I have a motion to approve these minutes? Kundu, seconded by Kowalski. All right, is there any questions? Any debate? Report?
Those aren't the minutes from the last meeting.
What? Oh my God, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Any questions? Any debate? All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes from session 5, Wednesday, September 7th, signify by saying aye. Aye. Wait. These still are the minutes. Okay. I don't know what this is called. Should I have somebody motion to postpone approving these minutes until I can figure out where they are? Thank you.
Motion.
Crone, seconded by Ward. Thank you. Discussion? Debate? All those in favor of pushing these back unless you find them, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Great, great. Thank you. Sorry, guys. This really isn't my thing. Yeah. All right. Shomo, all you.
All right. I move to add a commendation regarding the advisory tenure of Becca Herman and the nomination of Sam Surowitz to the Veterans Oasis ex officio seat in new business before we do inaugurations.
All right, great. Do I have a second? Gibbs? Can we agree to add this to the agenda by unanimous consent? Great, good. Alrighty, so. Can I have something motion for this commendation? Report. Can I have a second? Kowalski?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Becca Herman is the advisor for USG. She has been for 6.5 years, and I know many of you don't know her, but she is an integral part of this organization. And unfortunately for us, she is leaving UConn, so she will no longer be our advisor. And in typical fashion, when someone leaves USG, we do a commendation basically recognizing the contributions they made to this organization. So Kaylee, who's a graduated member of USG, and I will be reading this commendation. A commendation regarding the advisory tenure of Becca Herman. Whereas Becca Herman was the advisor for the undergraduate student government for 6.5 years. Whereas Becca Herman always offered sound advice, which is rarely taken under consideration.
Whereas Becca Herman has never hated anything as much as she hates the USG Constitution and election policies. Whereas Becca Herman blames every issue in USG on the Constitution.
Whereas when Becca Herman takes a day off, shit hits the fan. Whereas Becca Herman has had to put up with a lot of crap over the last 6.5 years, but has never complained once, as far as we know.
Whereas Becca Herman can finally leave Connecticut. Whereas Becca Herman has not only played the role of advisor, but mom, motivator, and friend.
Whereas Becca Herman has instilled great leadership and communication skills in many students through the Triad Leadership Program. Whereas integrity, stewardship, and community.
Whereas Becca Herman has been an amazing advisor to the undergraduate student government and has acted as the glue that holds the organization together. Be it resolved that the undergraduate student government recognizes these and the many other unsung contributions that Becca Herman has made to the organization.
Be it finally resolved that the undergraduate student government is deeply grateful for Becca Herman's commitment and dedication during her tenure as the undergraduate student government advisor and wishes her the best of luck in her future endeavors. Thank you.
We'll now move into a vote. Or discussion. I'm sorry. Any debate? Any questions? Reports?
I would just like to say, in the short time that I've been at USG, I've seen that it is truly run in an absolutely nearly 100% efficient manner, and that's based on my past experiences in other student governments, and I do believe that we can all thank Becca for her hard work in making that happen. In the short time that I've been in here, I can tell that she is truly a very, very important part to USG, so thank you very much.
Any further discussion? Any further debate? All right. All those in favor of passing this commendation, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right. The ayes have it and the motion carries. All right. So now we will move into nominating Sam Sherwitz to have a Veterans Oasis ex officio seat. Can I get a motion for that? No?
I just
Oh, okay. You just nominate him?
So Sam is currently a commuter senator. Once we inaugurate everyone, he won't be in Senate anymore. But Sam is a crucial member of this organization. He has represented veterans' needs since he's been in this organization. And since our Constitution passed referendum, it is now mandatory that I nominate someone from the Veterans Oasis to be the ex officio for that organization in USG. I have chosen Sam Sherwitz to hold that position, at least for the time being, and I am very honored to officially nominate Samuel Sherwitz to be the Veterans Oasis ex officio senator.
All right. Great. Does the nominee accept this nomination?
I do.
Okay. Now we're going to move into discussion. Is there any debate? Any questions for the nominee?
I also forgot to mention that one of the requirements is that the director of each center that nominates someone to be a ex officio has to give me a letter of recommendation. I have that here, so it's all by the book. We're all good, and he is highly recommended for this position.
Great. Any further questions? Any further debate? All right, we will now move into a vote. All those in favor of confirming President Byrd's nominee of Sam Sherwitz to be the Veterans Oasis ex officio senators signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Thanks, Sam. All right, so the ayes have it and the motion carries.
right. All new senators, please stand up. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly promise to uphold the Constitution, bylaws and rules of the undergraduate student government at the University of Connecticut in Storrs. I promise that I shall consistently and faithfully earn the vote of the constituents whom I have been elected to serve and represent. Finally, I shall maintain a vigilant eye on the welfare of the entire student government. That we may all diligently work together to successfully advocate for, represent and serve the entire student body. Congratulations.
So we're going to move into a bill concerning the USG budget. Do I have a motion to bring this to the floor? Walski, seconded by Von Olson. All right.
Alright, hey everyone, my name is, for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Rashida Jani. I am the comptroller of the undergraduate student government. So what I'm proposing today is the budget for fall 2016 for the entire undergraduate student government. I'm going to go through it with you. I went through it at caucus last week. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me at the end. Sound good? So this what it says up there is basically that I propose this legislation as such, and as such is the Excel sheet. So if you could pull up the Excel sheet and go to the breakdown tab. I'm going to go through the breakdown tab with you because it's faster and easier to do it this way. I'm going to grab my laptop. So this is a breakdown by committee of what each committee will be spending. So if we start at the top, Student Services has asked for $3,500. Just as a preview, fall 2015, each committee had asked for more than what they're asking for this semester. So compared to 1 year ago, this is a significantly less budget. Or a significantly lower number. Last year, we had budgeted a deficit, which meant we expected to spend more than we had. While that sounds scary or irresponsible, we never spend as much as we budget. We always budget on the high end because we want to make sure that we have enough money. We never end up spending close to what we budget. So, Student Services has asked for $3,500, Student Development $7,000, External Affairs $3,850. Funding Board is $1 million. This is the only committee that has increased since past years. Funding Board gives money right back to the student groups. So it's a good thing in retrospect that it's increased. The reason it's increased is because we've made it easier for student groups to receive funding. We've cut out a binding budget, which means if you forget to budget for it the semester in advance, that doesn't restrict you from spending that money this semester. They have up to $12,000 to spend. I still receive an informational budget from the student groups. There's about 600 plus right now. Each of them that will be requesting funding will send me an informational budget that says we expect to spend this much. So I still have a rough estimate of how much student groups are asking for. We have had the requests total about 1.3, 1.4 million from the student groups. We've cut that down to 1 million. In the past, it has been between 800 and 880,000. But we've seen an increase in spending just because it's easier for student groups to do so. So that's why that number was increased. Academic affairs, 13,700. The semester programs is close to 60,000. Programs pays for the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal on campus, and because those are contracted, those numbers rarely change from year to year. This is the second semester, I believe, that we're doing the Wall Street Journal. So it seems like a high number, but those numbers are contracted with the services that are provided to us. USG General, general office use, such as things for the printer and stationery and etc. Miscellaneous committee dinners. And wages for the full-time staff, again, that's not a number that generally changes from year to year. The full-time staff includes the special payroll, which we have one person, so it includes the full-time salary, benefits, and special payroll and benefits. Executive committee is 43,000. That includes membership events for all of you, fall budget for all of you. The PR, we have a new position this year, so we wanted to allocate money so that that position could be best utilized. And the person in that, Thea, who is not here right now, but the person in that position has the available resources to properly do PR. And Senate has you have your own budget, which Speaker White can give it to me. So if you go to the overall tab, you have all of the breakdowns that I had discussed right now in the breakdown tab. Your reserves are what you have as a safety net. That number doesn't change. It was 40,000 a few years ago and it was increased. So that number doesn't change, that number is given to me. We lowball, very, very lowball. If you can see, 16,500 students is a very, very lowball number. The reason we do that is because, like I said, well, for revenue at least, you want to budget conservatively, right? You want to not assume that you have too much. So that's why that number is conservative. Again, that number is given to me. I work in the business office to get that number. So you have your student fees. We get $45 out of the activity fee from every undergraduate who pays the activity fee, which is full-time and part-time students at stores. And the rollover, which is what we didn't spend last year, which is what we had. So that's how you get your total revenue. You deduct everything from that minus the reserves, because that's your rainy day fund. The only other thing I want to explain in this is our community outreach. So community outreach, we agreed to pay 50% of the trips that community outreach does in spring 2016. Generally, we've given them $40,000. $1,000 in the fall semester and $39,000 in the spring semester, because most of their expenses happen in the spring semester. The only reason we budget $1,000 for the fall is for trainings for alt-break leaders and things like that. This year, what we've decided to do, because they added an extra trip, and because we never spend, they never spent up to $40,000 last semester. Spring 2016, they spent $28,000. So, because we have the money and they're not spending it, we decided to give back again more to the student groups and increase that number to $45,000, up to $45,000 for the entire school year to community outreach. $1,000 for this semester for trainings and $44,000 for next semester, where we will fund, depending on how much money we have, up to 60% of their trips. Which means that students participating in all break trips in the spring semester will have up to 60% of their costs covered. We felt, as USG, that this was a smart move. It was brought up to the executive committee because, again, this is money that's going back to the student groups. All break trips are things that they do philanthropically, that they take their breaks to do, and it benefits the UConn Day and the UConn community, as well as our external community. And Judicial has a budget of $500. I can yield if you guys have questions about that. But that leaves us at a balance of $16,495. That includes the reserves. So if we include our reserves, we include our rainy day funds, we spend everything that we need to, including emergency $70,000, we're still left over with $16,495.62. So I'm going to give it back to Stephanie. But that's the budget.
gonna move into discussion, and that will be the time for you to come up and ask. You can use that microphone right there, okay? Cool, great. So, we will now move into discussion. Is there any debate or any questions that anybody would like to ask at this time?
Money, guys.
Yeah, it's student fees. Oh. Yeah, this is the money. Okay, guys, it is like, you're looking at it, it's like close to $1.5 million. Okay, great. When you get up there, just say your name and your constituency. Thank you.
I'm Amanda. I'm a senator from Oasis, and I was wondering, we have $1 million allocated to funding board, but you said there was $1.3 million in requests. How do we handle that discrepancy?
So generally, we have up to $1 million requested every semester. What we've seen historically over the past few years is that we don't spend more than $800,000 to $880,000, like I mentioned before. That's because groups will decide to not go on trips or to not spend money that they wanted to. Things on Amazon will cost less than they originally had priced for it. And so because of those, that's why that discrepancy is.
Any other questions?
Hello, I'm Franklin, Next Generation Senator, and I'm just
Your
wondering.
last names? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, Franklin Baruka, Next Generation Senator. And I was wondering, does the budget increase for USG every year?
Our revenue comes from how many students there are on campus, right? So technically, if we have more students, we'll have more revenue. It also depends on how much we've spent the prior semester. So it has technically increased from the prior semester, but it's all dependent on how much we get from student activity fees, what our revenue is, and what we spend in the past.
Just another question. Do you think when Next Generation is implemented, like in the next Generation CT in a couple of years, do you think the budget of USG is going to increase then?
Can you clarify what you mean by next generation?
So like the $1.5 billion that we're renovating around the university for more residential housing and academic buildings. Do you think, I'm just asking, because I don't know, do you think USG, do you think the revenue we get is going to increase there drastically, or just like how it's been throughout the years?
Well, I think that depends on how successful Next Gen is, right? If it brings in more students, then yeah, we get more revenue. Because we get $45 from everyone that goes to stores. So if Next Gen is successful in its endeavors and we get more students on campus, then that increases our revenue. Yeah.
President Bird?
I'd just like to say that Rich is right that if we got more students, we'd have more money because we get $45 per student. But enrollment and planning has capped the number of students that can come into per class at 3,800. So regardless of, first of all, Next Gen money is it's mostly capital investment, so that doesn't affect our budget monetarily. The only thing that would affect our budget is if we increased our fee, $45, or if we got more students. But the number of students per class entering UConn has been capped at 3,800.
Okay.
Yeah. So
when did they cap that? The Board of Trustees? They capped it?
well, I'm not sure who actually. I know like Wayne Locust, who's the vice president for enrollment. He has mentioned that his office is capped at 3,800. Okay. I think with the board.
Cool. So thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Any other questions? Alrighty. Seeing none, we will now move into a vote. All those in favor of passing the budget as we have it, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? One? Okay. Alrighty. Well, the ayes have it and the motion carries. Congrats, you guys. All right, we will now move into the report of the president. Mr. Bird.
Inauguration.
I'm Dan. I'm the president of USG. It's nice to see all of the new faces, and I hope to get to know all of you in the next, my chiropractor's calling me. In the next couple weeks. So my report is Vice President Valverde and I had a very productive meeting with President Herbst on Tuesday. We had a lot of frank discussions, but it was really productive. And if you want to know any more details about what we talked about, just let me know. 2 important notes about things that new senators and veteran senators can get involved in. We have 5 total seats on University Senate. So University Senate is one of the bodies that participates in shared governance at UConn. It's made up of predominantly faculty. They meet once a month, but the undergrads get 5 seats and the graduates get 2 seats. Administrators go, including President Herbst, the provost, all the vice presidents. They go and give reports about what's going on at the university. And this Senate votes on a variety of things, including statements of position like we do. They also get to vote on curriculum and things like that. It's a very important committee or body, and we get 5 seats. 1 is the president, so I'm already on it. So I have 4 available seats. Some of you have already shown interest, and if I haven't gotten back to you, I will. I just wanted to make sure everyone's aware that there are 4 seats available. If you are interested in hearing more about University Senate or sitting on University Senate, please see me after this meeting or shoot me an email in the next few days. I need to have these, those 4 people nominated probably by next Senate, so in 2 weeks from today. Secondly, also regarding University Senate, just like our Senate, has standing committees. We have 6 standing committees, they have like 10 or 12. We have 2 seats on each of those committees. It is vital that we have 2 students on each of those committees. There's one about General Education Oversight Committee, there's Faculty Standards, there's all sorts of committees, and we have 2 seats on each of them. University Senate committees are a great way for us to figure out what's going on at a university-wide level, especially kind of concentrating on certain issues like faculty standards or general education or things like that, or student welfare committee. I will be sending out another email. I sent it out to veteran senators already, but for the new senators, I'll send out another email listing the committees and the number of seats we have available, because I did fill some of them already. If you are interested, I will ask for a letter of intent, just a little statement about why you want to sit on that committee. If I don't know you, I may have like a little interview with you. But we need to have 2 students on each of these committees. So please, please, please apply for more than 1. They only meet like once every other week, sometimes once a month. So it's really not a huge time commitment, but having USG members on there is crucial. So if you have any questions, I suppose you can ask them now, but you can also see me after the Senate.
Any questions? Any debate? No? Great. Vice President Valverde.
Hi everyone. So for all the new senators, welcome. We're so excited to have you. Thank you for filling out the contact information as well as the Google spreadsheet that I sent out. There are 2 people missing those, so I'll contact you after. But for all returning members, please make sure that you check if you're on new contact. I did send it to everybody. People did notify me if they weren't sent the invitation to be a part of USG. So just let me know. I think we're pretty much all set though. It looks like our number's around 135 or so. But yeah, and then LGL information will be coming out soon. So that's our Leaders Guiding Leaders mentorship program. We had people who said they were interested in being mentors, which are the returning members in August. So we'll contact you just to make sure that you still want to stay with that commitment. But for all new senators, you'll be getting an email from myself and Sydney next week early, probably Monday or Tuesday, just with some questions that we need you to fill out so that we can pair you with someone from the organization that will kind of help you out throughout the semester and throughout the year to get adjusted into this role. And then just in general, we're going to be having membership events this semester, so just look out for a doodle doc. We're just going to see what weekends work best for people because in the past it's just been hard to plan these because we don't really know when people have a lot of work going on, midterms, or just exams, going home, stuff like that. So just a way to make sure that we're planning events that people are going to attend. And then lastly, for all the new senators, and of course all the older members know this already, but just come to the office whenever you want. Everyone's always welcome to go. Just do homework, study there. And introduce yourselves to Nikki, Dawn, Daria, and Darren. They're our office staff there, so just go say hi. They're definitely going to be excited to see everybody and meet all of you, so just come on by. Usually there's always somebody there, and you'll be able to start like getting to know everybody more, and it'll be nice. You can make some friends. And that's it for me.
We will now move into the report, I'm sorry, any questions for Vice President Valverde? Okay, we'll move into the report of the Comptroller.
I don't really have much to report since I've been working on the budget, but now that that's over, there was an inventory project that the old comptroller had started, an initiative, and that's to be able to keep track of all the inventory that we give student groups and we can do good use of that stuff. So many capital goods. So I will be continuing on that. If you'd like to help me with that, I'd be more than happy to take help. So contact me, comptroller@usg.uconn.edu, and we can get started on that.
Any questions? I'm sorry. Okay. No questions? Great. We'll move into the report of the Chiefs of Staff. Okay, you go.
We're currently planning any kind of public safety that we'll probably need volunteers for. And then there's also another resource fair coming up, which is like when prospective students come, we'll also need like volunteers at the table for that. But they provide lunch and stuff, so it's super fun. Just look out for an email.
Okay. Any questions for Sydney? No? All right, we'll move into the report of the judiciary.
Just want to welcome and congratulate all the senators. I know it's been kind of a long time since the actual election. Just to like get everybody aware of like why it's a little bit longer. We had 2 cases that occurred, and we had to wait until the conclusion of both of these cases were to disperse the election results, which is why it took so long. But I'm glad everybody's here now. We can get going with the new year, the new Senate. In terms of that, the judiciary is starting new initiatives with community standards. We're meeting with the head of community standards, Kathy Cox, and I believe next week, at the end of the week, if you guys want to have some input on that, we're going to be talking about getting student representations on community standards hearings. So if you want some input on that, our meetings are Friday at 1 p.m. in the USG. One more thing, I want to let everybody know that I appointed my Deputy Chief Justice, Beth. She's been awesome so far this year. She's really been helping me out, and I thought it was necessary to give it up. So, thank you.
Any questions for Chief Justice Stern? No? All right, we're going to move into the report of the Senate. So, okay. Hi, everybody. Normally, this isn't my job. This is George Wang's job, and he does a much better job at it than I do. So, that's good, right? It's a good sign. Anyway, let's see. Next Senate, I am looking to do senator headshots, so come as pretty as possible. That photo is going to go on the website. Your moms and dads can take a look at it. It's really cute, and you could probably use it on your LinkedIn profile, so that's good. We're also going to be sending out a form for you guys that's going to have asking you about committee preferences. Okay, so just like be thinking about what committee you want to join. You all should have been at orientation, so you should have, gotten a sense from each committee about what they do. I posted the meeting times. If you have any questions, you can contact the chair people. And then we're also going to include in that form some times that we're looking to meet in small groups with all of you. We're looking to just talk about your goals for the rest of the semester, the rest of the year, anything that you specifically want to work on, any questions that you might have. I know it's probably kind of scary, to be like trying to figure this whole thing out. It's a big group and it's kind of intimidating. So, any questions for me? Report.
Next Senate or next caucus or headshots?
Next Senate. So you'll already be dressed up. Also, a note about that, in a lot of questions about this, Senate is always going to be business formal unless we say otherwise. Caucus is always casual, okay? Okay. Cool. Business formal, okay. So, I'm not going to be super strict about it, but we're going to go with no Sperry's, okay? That's just preferably dress shoes. You can wear pants, skirts, dresses, whatever. If you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email, stephanie.goble@ucon.edu. Send me, ties would be really great too. That's a huge plus. Jackets are not 100% necessary, but whatever you feel comfortable in is important. But also, like, remember that if you're dressed well, I think people take you exceptionally more seriously. I think it makes us look really legitimate to the university and makes our opinion important. Or at least it just like eliminates the whole idea that it's a bunch of kids, like sitting in sweatpants, pretending like they have something to do with the university's business, okay? So just, we're not gonna be crazy, but like, look nice, okay? You all look great right now, so doing good. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, who's next? Academic affairs. That's not here. Dustin? All right.
Not much to report for academic affairs. We had a meeting this past Thursday with Dr. Katrina Higgins, who's the director of advising. For those of you that don't know, she's working on improving the advising system as well as student admin and its accessibility. So we're working with her with that. Other than that, we're just getting initiatives started up and running. Anyone wants to come, we meet at 6:30 on Thursdays. Anyone's more than welcome to join our committee.
All right. Any questions for Dustin at all? No? Okay. Cool. This is the report of External Affairs Chairperson.
Hi everyone, welcome new senators. My name is Haley, for all of you who don't know me. My committee meets from 2 to 3 on Mondays. We're working on a few things right now. We're organizing a movie night in the town of Mansfield. Next Saturday, I believe, we actually just scheduled a community service event. We're working with Joshua's Trust. It's like an outdoors. We're going to be doing some community service, and I think we're cleaning up a park, which is kind of interesting. I'm also taking some letters of intent right now for my 2 vice chair positions. And finally, I had a meeting yesterday with President Byrd. We met with Gail Garber, Joanne Lombardo, and Jennifer Lees-Butts. And we talked about our, like a prep for the legislative session for the year. So we talked about testifying. We're definitely going to be dealing with budget cuts again this year. So testifying at the Capitol, organizing that for the semester, and then we talked about different ideas. We usually do the Husky Day at the Capitol, and we have some new ideas with that, and I'll be able to give more information about that later. Thank you.
All right. Any questions for External Affairs Chairperson? No? Great. We will now move into the report of funding board. No report? All right. So we will now move into the report of programs.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome. I'll start off by saying join programs, the most prestigious committee there is. We take the best of the best. So join programs. A few things in the work right now. October 14th, we're doing Student Appreciation Day in the SOC office. Doing a lot of giveaways, doing food. So either stop by the office, it's a good opportunity to learn about the SOC, the services provided, the work that I do, and what I oversee. And then we've had a lot of shake-up. Like, the people who've been following the saga of the New York Times speaker, we had another shake-up, and then another shake-up. So now we're finally down to one New York Times speaker, Steve Etter, who is coming October 24th at 7 p.m. That's being held in the Student Evening Theater. We're partnering with Subog and UConn Herb. Subog will be offering mini constitutions that we'll be handing out. Yeah, that's what I'm cool. And Herb will be doing voter registration at the event. What else? There'll be cookies, brownies. Cookies are always good. And yeah, that's it for me. Join programs. It's a fun time. Tomorrow, 5 p.m., SOC conference room.
Any questions? All right. We'll now move into the report from Student Development Chairperson Price.
Okay, hi everyone. So my name's Alyssa, for those of you who don't know, and we meet on Mondays from 3:30 to 4:30 in an SOC conference room. So we've continued planning for the International Food Celebration event, which is now called Taste of Yukon. So we reached out to PERLAC, ASAC, AAC, and 5 other cultural associations. So that's Italian, French, Irish, Polish, and the other one. But so we are starting playing with that. We've also contacted catering to get that started as well. Chief of Staff Dinklu was also contacted by a Huntington Post presenter who does a program skit about mental health awareness, which was an initiative that we wanted to tackle as well. So we will be reaching out to him to see more of what he can provide us.
Any questions? All right. We will now move into the report of Student Services.
Hi everyone. If it's your first Senate, welcome. I hope it's not too confusing. If you ever at any point need to ask a question, definitely use the point of personal privilege. So you can for a point of information, you get a question to ask something because it can be very confusing. So I'm the Student Services Chairperson. My name is Eliza. Student Services meets every Tuesday at 6 p.m. in the SSE conference room. I'm accepting applications for 2 different vice chair positions. One's an outreach chairperson, and the other's an advocacy chairperson. So if you're interested in either of those areas, please apply. I'm accepting them right now, I think, until maybe until Monday. So please apply. Let me know if you have any questions or need an extension. I'm really flexible. I just actually today got out of a meeting with E-Coalition, and we're going to be working with them on a few different initiatives, including working with solar panels and making sure that we're trying. Their main goal is to get UConn off oil and just on natural gas and solar in the next few years. Not really sure how we're going to tackle that. That's a very big overarching project. In addition to, a few different guidance services initiatives with them, and a couple with University Senate that they're already working on, and getting hopefully a content area fulfillment with some sort of sustainability education requirement in the future. So if you're interested in any of that, please let me know. Otherwise, anything services for students, safety, and sustainability, we're your committee. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I would love to have you all. Thanks.
All right. Any questions? All righty. So, not to be a complete downer here, but I did forewarn everybody in an email. I'd like to hold a moment of silence for our fellow student, fellow Husky who passed away. He passed away Monday. His name is Sean Sullivan. He's a freshman. I believe he was an economics major. So if we could just have a moment. Okay. So any announcements? Anybody?
So like I said, if you have questions about University Center, come see me. Also, exec, if you could come see me, all exec, who's here, come see me if you need.
Name checks go in the back. Sturwitz.
Hey, so I again wanted to thank everyone for making the veteran ex officio position possible. There's over a community of 1,500 veterans at UConn, well, veterans and military-related people at UConn main campus and the surrounding campuses. And it's the first time there's been a position for them built into USG, so I appreciate everyone making that possible. So thank you all very much.
Last thing, so George is going to be collecting applications for a deputy speaker at some point. I'm sure he will email out more details about that, but just keep in mind, you'd be doing a lot more of this whole thing